guys, Valtorious the Awoken here. So, for the versus video, I was kind of like thinking about this for like a minute. You know, a lot of shit that's going on right now. So, I was thinking about King Bradely, right, versus Albert Wesker. And frankly, this match has kind of like been in the back of my mind for like a minute, because I was like, you know, what would have happened like if those two would have met and would have fought and stuff, because I've seen people online put out like King Bradely versus Deathstroke, and I'm like, that's I probably might make that match second. But I was thinking about Albert Wesker and stuff, because I was like, yeah, him and King Bradely kinda is similar in some ways and stuff, because, you know, King Bradely, you know, he was basically like he was groomed to be basically Pride. You know, he was groomed to be Pride, and he had like training since he was a baby, you know, and then he had the Philosopher's Stone placed inside of him, and he was destined to be, you know, to I wouldn't say take over the world. Well, technically, he was responsible for multiple amount of deaths and catastrophes that happened and stuff, and the stuff that happened in Ishval. But yeah, and I was just like, yeah, you know, he kind of done stuff. He done a lot of stuff, you know. And then I was like, Albert Wesker, you know, with the whole virus and stuff. Basically, his version was, you know, the weak will die off and only the strong will survive. Basically, with the whole Ouroboros virus, he was gonna spread throughout the entire world and stuff. The whole Wesker family, well, the Wesker children, he injected like the virus within himself, and then he has like supernatural powers and stuff that allows him to like dodge bullets, super strength and stuff. And he was also part of the Stars right at a time. But I was like, yeah, like what actually would have happened if those two would have fought and stuff. And I was like, well, seeing how King Bradely has been around, I would love to say a lot longer than Wesker. You know, he's lived longer, he's trained longer and stuff. I could say like the advantages go to him and stuff, because he also has the ability to predict people's movements as well. And basically when he fought, I believe it was Sloth. It was Greed. When he fought Greed, he just destroyed Greed. Like when they was fighting in the scene and shit, like he destroyed him. I was like, God damn, man, like he just wrecked him with the whole armor and everything. He wrecked him and stuff. And then you seen him basically fight everybody, like when towards the ending, you know, of Full Metal Alchemist and shit, where they fired a tank bullet at this dude and he just cut it in two, and he just destroyed everybody. Came in there and slaughtered everybody. I was like, God, he was basically one man versus the entire army. That's what it was. That's what it basically was, you know. And I was like, well, damn, you know, Wesker, you know, he's kind of like caught in a rocket bullet, right? Well, a rocket launcher, I should say. Like he basically caught that. He was defeated by Chris and Sheva, compared to King Bradely, where it was basically Scar who took him out and stuff. But it had the help with like a lot of people, you know, who had to like basically help drain like that health bar, I would say. Well, not health bar, but you know what I mean. Like it had to drain King Bradley's stamina and stuff. And also you had to damage his eye, because that was basically his point of everything, you know. His counter abilities, his way of movement, a lot of things. And with that gone, he was basically turned into like an old man, you know. He was dying, you know, basically, compared to, you know, Chris and Sheva, where they had to weaken Wesker, and then they had to inject him again with the same virus that he was pumping himself up with. But it only made him slightly faster, a little bit out of control, but he was able to, you know, gain the control that he needed until he infected himself with the Ouroboros virus. And he was basically I guess a walking monster at this point, you know. But and then he was in lava, they shot rocket launchers at him, and they, you know, they called it a day at him. But I'm just looking at the speed and basically his strength and stuff, and frankly, I don't think Wesker can probably beat King Bradely, you know, because let's just say like they fighting each other for like a minute, right? I would say that when it comes to speed and teleportation, I think Wesker has like, you know, I wouldn't say speed. I can't say that, because King Bradley has speed. This man has speed, like point blank rocket bullet. Like, I would probably say that when it comes to speed, maybe they're on par. I'll say that they probably on par, but when it comes to strength, I think I probably seen King Bradley. I think when it comes to strength, King Bradley's also there. In the same situation, if the situation was in the reverse, I think Wesker can probably do the exact same. Dodging, basically killing everybody in the room. I think it would probably be the same way, compared to what King Bradley had to do. It basically drained a lot out of him, when he had to like fight Scar and stuff. So, yeah, and there's not too much as known about Wesker and stuff. Like, what else that he can possibly do besides what we've seen in the game, the lore, and all this other stuff. That, yeah, he's done a lot in his time and stuff. But when it comes down to like fighting somebody that's like King Bradley, who's been training since he was a baby, he was training since he was a baby, learning everything that he can. And I wouldn't say the same thing for Wesker, because Wesker too, he was basically a prodigy. He was supposed to be like the perfect Wesker, from the Wesker children. He was supposed to be like genetically superior, but he kind of just said, what, fuck it, I just want to destroy the world, and whoever survives, and the weak will die, the strong will survive. That was his whole shtick and stuff, because he felt that the world was sick and it needed to be cleansed and shit. So Wesker had his own version of world domination, and Bradley, he was basically a pawn, to the whole Philosopher's Stone. And he was basically like a pawn and stuff. Like, he had his part to play. Like, don't get me wrong, he was responsible for multiple amount of deaths. But what I'm trying to get at here is that I think King Bradley will probably beat Wesker. That's what I'm probably getting at. When it comes to stats, probably like counter abilities, because again, when you think about it like this, it took an army plus Scar, right, to beat King Bradley, where Wesker's case, it only took 2 people. Literally, it only took 2 people. So it's like 2 people against a man with an entire army, and they had to basically kind of weaken him, so that way when he fought Scar, even when he fought Scar almost died, because even though when he destroyed his eye and his arm, he basically took the knife, the broken sword, and stabbed Scar with it. So Scar could have died there with King Bradley, but this shows you that how resilient King Bradley is. So it's like, I think King Bradley would probably destroy Wesker. I wouldn't say that it would be easy. No, like, I think King Bradley would probably like destroy Wesker at this point. He would destroy Wesker. Like, it wouldn't be nothing for Wesker to do. Like, the whole teleportation, I felt like King Bradley would probably be able to counter that. Certain things that Wesker would probably be able to try to do, King Bradley would be able to counter. Even if King Bradley's in a small disadvantage or whatever, King Bradley would figure a way of countering whatever Wesker would probably throw at him and probably kill him and stuff. Yeah, this is how I see it. This is how I see it. But yeah. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Do you think that I was probably wrong, and you think that maybe Albert Wesker has like a chance against King Bradley and stuff? Or if he was to say, well, he injects himself even more, or tries to inject King Bradley, but the Philosopher's Stone heals. So against a virus compared to Philosopher's Stone that basically can heal people from blindness and any type of sickness or disease or whatever, I don't think I don't think Wesker can be able to beat King Bradley. I think that would probably be it and stuff. But let me know in the comments section below of what you think. Do you think that Albert Wesker can probably beat King Bradley, or do you think that King Bradley will probably get his hams killed against Wesker? Either or. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff, and I'll catch you later.